In this podcast episode, Mel Robbins shares 8 powerful reminders that provide clarity, boost resilience, and offer practical ways to navigate life's challenges. Focusing on managing exhaustion, reclaiming energy, setting boundaries, and embracing personal responsibility, she offers insights and mental tools to help listeners regain control and foster a better relationship with themselves and their daily lives. Mel begins by urging listeners to slow down and appreciate the current moment, no matter how hectic or overwhelming life feels. She highlights the universal tendency to rush through life, chasing what's next while missing the value in the present. Using the metaphor of a melting ice cube, she illustrates how time slips away unnoticed, emphasizing that 20 years from now, listeners will long to return to this exact time, health, and age. The key is to acknowledge the good amidst the chaos, whether it's something as simple as drinking water, getting out of bed, or small successes. Presence, not perfect circumstances, creates peace and appreciation for life's fleeting moments. The second reminder deals with the underrated skill of pausing before reacting to situations that drain energy. Mel explains how constant activity without pause intensifies life's pressures, leaving people overwhelmed and exhausted. By intentionally stopping to ask, "Is this worth my energy?" before engaging in conflicts, distractions, or emotionally charged moments, listeners can conserve their mental resources. She provides relatable examples, from annoying texts to workplace tensions, encouraging decisive disengagement from low-value energy drains without explanations or defense, thereby protecting peace of mind. Mel stresses how often people's moods and reactions have little to do with those around them, and everything to do with their own internal struggles. She advises maintaining healthy emotional boundaries by reminding yourself to let their mood be theirs and focus on managing your own life. This approach helps listeners stop absorbing others' negativity, navigate interpersonal dynamics with compassion but detachment, and ultimately reclaim personal power. Understanding that other people's behavior is shaped by their experiences and stresses rather than your actions allows for healthier relationships and less emotional turmoil. The fourth reminder challenges the common but debilitating trap of waiting to feel better before taking action or engaging fully in life. Mel urges listeners to live their lives exactly as they are, with anxiety, sadness, uncertainty, or burnout, and shows that healing and happiness come through the experience itself, not before it. She highlights that difficult seasons often precede major breakthroughs and that perseverance through hard times is essential. Rather than waiting for the perfect moment, taking even small steps forward while struggling can catalyze change and growth. Mel reinforces personal accountability with an empowering message. No one is coming to do the work for you or to stop you from creating the life you want. She stresses that happiness, progress, and fulfillment are solely your responsibility. She dismantles the victim mentality by encouraging listeners to recognize their own role in moving forward despite fear, doubt, or external obstacles. The let them theory is introduced here to emphasize self-reliance and the freedom that comes from owning your journey, decisions, and happiness without waiting on external validation or rescue. The sixth reminder offers hope and agency by affirming that while you can't control the past or undo what has happened, you always hold the power to decide what comes next. Mel explains that change doesn't require monumental shifts, but can start with small choices, pausing, setting boundaries, or making healthier decisions. She advocates rejecting the notion that difficult pasts define your future and encourages deliberate focus on who you want to become. This perspective invites listeners to adopt a proactive stance and rewrite their narratives with intentional action. One of Mel's favorite reminders is about the healthy recognition that other people's words, moods, and behaviors are reflections of their own realities and not personal attacks. Learning to let them is about setting firm boundaries and not engaging in attempts to control or fix others. She explains that people resistant to your boundaries or misunderstanding you indicate boundaries that are working. This mindset frees listeners from emotional exhaustion caused by investing energy in others' immaturity, negativity, or drama, allowing focus on self-respect and personal values instead. The final reminder calls on listeners to actively choose their attitude and intentions each day, regardless of circumstances. Mel suggests affirming that today will be a good day by bringing positive energy, setting boundaries, and deliberately creating one good thing, even if the day is ordinary and imperfect. She stresses that life mostly consists of average Tuesdays and that the accumulation of small positive choices shapes overall well-being. This simple practice positions listeners to reclaim control over their daily experience and build a life that feels better from moment to moment.